What's going on, everyone? Chris Mack coming at you today with the dual review of the McFarlane Toys Page Puncher, the Atom, as well as the Silver Age NFT edition Atom. If you guys want to pick these figures up, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or where there's like feature action figures and comics and grab it. If not, at the time of this recording, this one is available both at Entertainment Earth as well as Big Bad Toy Store, and this one is available on Big Bad Toy Store, so go get you some action figures. Now, as for the packaging, they both look exquisite. We'll start with this one right here. One thing about these page punchers that I like the most is they come with a comic book, which is exciting, and then it says the Atom, cool DC right there. On the side, it says the Flash comic, cool beans there, and it shows the comic that is inside as well as the figure. On this side, just a fancy looking window with page punchers and the DC logo. Nothing really on the bottom except for the page punchers and the McFarlane logo. Nothing really on the bottom. This one, packaging looks cool. I'm glad that they kind of use that old school looking Atom logo. Then it has that McFarlane Toys digital there. Okay, whoop-de-doo there. Nothing really on the side. On the back, love this artwork here. Not sure what issue this is from. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments. And of course, I like the way that they kind of differentiate these from the original DC Multiverse, kind of having that neat digital look to it. And I just love that it's the Silver Age. That's exciting. Nothing on the top except for the digital logo there. Nothing on the bottom. So with that said, are these figures awesome or not? Let's break them open and get a closer look at them. Backstory: Raymond Palmer was created by writer Gardner Fox, co-plotter Julia Schwartz, and artist Gil Kang, and inker Murphy Anderson. The Atom was one of the first superheroes of the Silver Age of comics, first appearing in Showcase number 34 from September of 1961. Ray Palmer is a physicist and professor at Ivy University in the city of Ivytown. He specializes in matter compression as a means to fight overpopulation, famine, and other world problems. Using a mass of white dwarf star matter, he finds it after it lands on Earth. Palmer fashions a lens that enables him to shrink any object to any degree. He decides to use this effect to become the superhero, the Atom. The Atom's alter ego, Ray Palmer, is an homage to science fiction magazine editor Raymond A. Palmer. One of the things that still irks Mike Girk to this day, however, is how DC did Jean Loring dirty during Identity Crisis, having her kill Sue Dibney, the wife of the Elongated Man, and to try to win Ray back. It just felt very mean-spirited, and it broke the character for me. I also wanted to point out that Palmer is the second hero to use the name Atom. The first being Albert Pratt, created by writer Bill O'Connor and artist, Ben Flinton, first appearing in All American Comics number 19 from October 1940. He was a founding member of the Justice Society of America, though his powers were not to reduce his size like Palmer. Now, Dr. Ryan Choi was created by Gail Simone and Grant Morrison, first appeared in DCU Brave New World number 1 from August 2006, and is the fourth superhero character to use the name Atom, taking up the mantle of his mentor, Ray Palmer. So both these characters look awesome. For the accessories, the Page Puncher one, I've had this for a while and I've been meaning to go over it. I love that it comes with this cool little ring that you can peg into his back. I do wish, however, that they would have made it a cross helix thing like an actual Atom, but the fact that it was included and it's stuck in there good. You gotta kind of work it out. It gets in there. But the fact that they included it with this character, I can't complain. That's a cool little piece in my opinion. And you can do some cool shots, especially if you light it right, it illuminates pretty good. He also comes with, boom, there goes the other one, an open hand, which is really cool. Two open hands, should I say. So that's a cool addition. And then he comes with sort of a hand that you could put like a beaker in. So I appreciate that. And then, of course, your usual punching hand. So for these hands, for this character, can't complain. And then, of course, we get your standardized McFarlane stand, which is cool. He also comes with a comic book that we have gone over, so I'll make sure to link it in this video. Now, as for Ray Palmer himself, this is the one I'm really excited about just because it's the Silver Age version. He comes with this kind of cool open hand to do whatever you want with it. Punching him. But the thing that irks my Girk about this particular character is all of the open hands are for the left hand. You get the punching hand on the right, and then you get a cool pointer finger, but no open hand. So if you want any type of open style, it has to be on the left hand. So I just wish that they would have given you a better option, especially since this is supposed to be a Silver Age Classics. But it is what it is. The stand, because this is the digital one or whatever, cool little design. I'm glad to have it, especially when you're trying to do more complicated poses. You can at least Photoshop those out or hide them. I also really like the minifig that comes with it. But what irks my gurk is there is zero articulation on this thing. And I don't understand why they just made it a static figure. Like, literally nothing. That just irks my gurks. I mean, what if you want to do like an action figure shot with looking like the big figure is running, and then he shrinks down to this? Because, I mean, you can get some really cool ideas, but the problem is if you want them to kind of like match poses, you're stuck. And that just sort of kills it for me. But the fact that they included it is cool. But why I get a little irked is the fact that they released these tiny page punchers, which I'm not a big fan of, but my buddy Anthony hooked me up with the Dark Knight metal ones. So this is cool. This came with this one and the Red Flash. But look at this. So this one, zero articulation. These don't have joints to like do any elbows or knee bends, but you can at least move the arms up and down. And you can kind of move the head. So if they have these molds, I don't understand why they decided to make him static. And that just really just jives me the wrong way. But nonetheless, to have it, cool. But because they have these and they didn't do this, that to me is just really fracking lazy. The last thing the Atom comes with is a trading card. The Page Puncher one did not, unfortunately. But I'll throw up the front and the back so you guys can check it out at your convenience and pause the video and read all the cool stuff on the card. Now for the paint apps, we'll go over Mr. Palmer here first. I'm just glad that they really stuck with the old Silver Age look of the character. I love the addition of the, what do you call it? What is that thing called? The atom on the head. I wish that they would have made it a little more pronounced, but I'm glad that it's there. Eye sculpture looks great. Gloves look good. Love the little Atom logo on the belt buckle there. Goes all the way around. And I'm kind of glad that some figures that we looked at in the past that have like dry brush and they'd stop on the front, or they'd start on the front and they wouldn't fade off in the back. I'm kind of glad that that's starting to stop be a thing where everything looks like it's supposed to. Boots look great. And that just old school red looks good. Ears poking out. Just has the great Silver Age look about it. Now as for Ryan Choi, this one's cool because he has his helmet to go into the Microverse, just like the Atom. The only thing about this character that I don't like, and this is just based off the artwork from the Flash comic that we went over, is there's no pupils. It's just white. So when I'm doing up-close shots of him, I'm having to Photoshop eyeballs, and that just really irks my gurk. I wish that they would have maybe taken like the face of the Atom here, or just something like this, and then just put it over the clear coat here, which is cool. I'm glad they made sure to make that a nice clear sheen. And then all the industrial metal work on the armor just looks exquisite. Love the updated belt. And then all the mesh to make it look like armor. All those little added additions look good. So to have two different, what do you call it, generations of the Atoms here, I would love to get the original one, because the original one was basically just a brute box, like prize fighting dude, and he was cool, but I'd love to have that version as well. But these two, especially this one, because I've been a fan of the Atom for a long time, but to have his predecessor and to see them work together and be able to take shots like that, I can't complain. The paint apps are just absolutely gorgeous for both of these figures. The musculature looks great. So having two cool Atom figures, can't complain. Now as for articulation, I'm glad that they have sort of a butterfly joint like the Marvel Legends. I just wish it would go in more so you can get better cross arm, like if they want to cross their arms like they're thinking or they're being standoffish. I wish we had that. So it is what it is. And I'm glad that they kind of put them together like Build-A-Figure joints. So, for example, when I was first warming him up, I was having a hard time moving this arm, and it popped out, and I was like, oh, shit, I broke it. But you just warm it up a little bit, pop it back in there like a Build-A-Figure. So I appreciate that. That was a nice addition. Heads up and down, side to side, lots of good play there. 360 on the arm. Double jointed elbows, just have to be careful and warm your figure up. Goes up, like so. Hands up and down, and around, down, back. And I'm glad that they both twist at the waist and the solar plex. So I'm glad that you can kind of do what you want, get a nice range of motion there. I just don't like being hindered, so that's makes me happy. Like that, like that. Double jointed knees, foot go up, foot go down. Love that foot peg. Hated it when I first saw it. Glad that it's there now. Butt flap is nice and loose, so you can get that leg back 90 degrees. Other Adam, kind of the same deal, but unfortunately his muscles here, you don't get as far as the other Adam, but it is what it is. Spin. Both of them have the upper bicep swivel. Double jointed hands and knit hands. What is this thing called? An elbow. Doot, doot. Spin it around. Good articulation there. Head go down. Head goes about that far. And of course you have to be careful because these tubes, they don't pop off. So if they snap, you're screwed. So you're kind of limited on the head motion. But at least it is there. And just like the other Adam, twist at both the solar plex and the waist. So I'm glad for that. Bend down that much. Go back that much. There. And then they both have the upper thigh swivel, which I'm glad that McFarlane started adding because, yeah, it just helps so much. Double jointed knees, up, down, foot go. And of course the loose butt flap so you can get the leg back. So articulation on both these characters. Every action figure is going to have its what do you call it, ups and downs. But at least on these ones, you get a nice full range of motion, so you can do some really cool shots with them. So I can't complain too much about the articulation. Now here's the Adams, next to two awesome figures that I finally picked up. These are both the collector's editions of Guy Gardner and the classic Deadshot, which I'm really excited to go over. This one was kind of a pleasant surprise because when I ordered it, I thought I was going to get the Green Lantern version. I didn't realize I was going to get his old school 90s look, so I'm glad that I got that Platinum edition. Now, as for the Adam that we were talking just about a little while ago, see how both the Batman Who Laughs and the Red Death, you can move them around, and they are smaller than this guy. So it just kills me that we just got a static piece of plastic compared to these smaller page punchers that actually do something. So that really irks my gurk, but I'll try to let it go. But nonetheless, these action figures, I will say that the McFarlane line has really grown on me. When it first came out, I was sort of leery about it because I was used to Mattel at the time, and I was like, oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into with these 7 inches? But over the years, I've just enjoyed what we've gotten, and now with this talk of okay, the Adam's just going to live down there, y'all. With McFarlane giving up the license to Mattel in, was it 2026? I'm like, oh boy, I hope that they don't relapse into what they were originally doing. Like, I hope they don't bring out the old molds and we get the I call it shoddy. So it's not as good as these. Because, I mean, these are a lot more detailed and a heck of a lot more articulated. Yes, all the McFarlane figures do have their gripes, and I've heard all of them. But still, to get all these awesome figures in these great poses, though I do hope one way or another we start getting guns again. I mean, I'm glad that we got these blasters with Deadshot, but I hate this no gun thing. That is such a stupid idea on DC's side. Anyway, I digress. Beautiful figures overall. They're going to look great on a shelf, no matter how, if you're going to do like a Justice League or Justice Society or a Suicide Squad or a Green Lantern Corps. What do you guys plan to do with your action figures? Are you going to set them up in the teams? Are you just going to set them up by your favorites? Are you going to do action figure photography? Let us know. We'd love to see pictures over on the socials. I had a really great time with both of these figures. I didn't think that I would. but trying to get some like cool sciencey shots with both of them just turned out absolutely great. And if you are a fan of both the Justice League and the Justice Society, these two are a must-have in your collection. Do they have their problems? Sure, just like every action figure set does. But I will forgive that because I really enjoyed them. And I've always been a longtime fan of Ray Palmer, the Atom, so I'm glad to have that. And then, of course, his predecessor, Ryan Choi. What do you guys think of both of these figures? Do you enjoy them? Which one is your favorite Atom? If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and wherever it is you like to get your action figures and comics and grab these figures, or the places we talked about at the beginning of the review. Speaking of, if you did enjoy this review, really would appreciate taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Justice Bell Justice Bell. The Justice Bell. Next, subscribe. That way, as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you on hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading. Photo slideshow coming up next. And happy hunting, everyone.